Live on YouTube and Google+, it's Pageant Live. This is the place for glamour and style. Get great pageant tips you won't find anywhere else. Find out what you need to know before your next pageant. Post your questions and comments for our panel during the show. Learn great ideas about all aspects of pageantry. Here we go. Pageant Live starts right now.
Welcome to Pageant Live. I'm Stephanie McGrane, International Super Ms, and I'm excited to be your host for the show tonight. We will be discussing the process which ladies go through in choosing which pageant system to enter. But before we meet our guests this evening, I'd like to begin by introducing Pageant Live's wonderful owner and producer, Pamela Prevette.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad everyone can make it, and I want to thank you to all my guests. I also would like to thank all our viewers. I want to let everyone know we have over 43,000 views on our website, and we also have a brand new spotlight sponsor. And oh, that was a that we're going to go ahead and let her make a presentation. If you have any questions, be sure to send them to show@pageantlive.com. Also, too, check out our website, Ask the Crown. If you have any pageant questions, please go to Ask the Crown. We also have the Pageant Showcase. We have our pageant spotlight sponsors. Hello to Royal Bliss. We want to thank you. Also, too, go ahead. Let our new sponsor tell us a little bit about our company. Go ahead, Jamie.
Hi, I'm Jamie O'Neill, and I own a company called Skull Sugar Cosmetics, and we actually just launched in January this year, so I'm really excited about that. And in the short time that I've launched the line, it's already been used at the Oscar Awards by celebrity makeup artists. So I'm very excited about that, and I've currently just have added some more products to expand the line. A little bit about the products is that we are an all-natural line of cosmetics that are highly pigmented. We are free of paraben, talc. We don't have any chemicals in the products. We're also cruelty-free and hypoallergenic, as well as vegan. And we do pack a lot of pigment in our colors, so it's definitely nice, bright, really fun colors that last all day long. You don't have to have very many touch-ups through the day, if at all. I spent about 13 hours on a TV show set yesterday, and I left exactly like I looked when I went in. So it's a really great product, and I developed it just basically out of the need for being able to find a good cosmetic that has the durability that I need as a makeup artist, which I've been doing for about 15 years. So that's just a little bit about basically why I started the company, is I just couldn't find pigments that were solid and bright enough that still were a mineral base and that didn't have paraben in it. And you know, most of us out there are starting to be a little bit more aware of the effects of paraben have been linked with cancer. The same thing with talc in our end products and synthetic minerals and things like that used. So it's I'm just very excited to be able to have such a great cosmetics line and something that has a lot of fun colors that works really well for everybody.
Yeah, I went through your website. It looks really, really, really nice. Do you have like anything that you can show us, like, you know, dab it later on your hands so we can see how it? Yeah, I'd like to see that. It's really, really good looking colors. Very.
Let me just show you one of our lip pots that we have. So we have these awesome lip gloss pots, and here's our little logo on there. And so these actually kind of have the consistency of a lipstick, but you can apply it with your lip brush, and you can throw it in your purse. You don't really have to worry about your lipstick breaking, which tends to happen to me all the time, or I'll be in a hurry and drop it, and then next thing I know, I've got lipstick everywhere. So this is one of my newer colors that I just launched, and I don't know if you guys can see that pink.
Sure we
there.
can.
Beautiful. But it's a pretty bright one. I actually have a couple more colors coming out with that as well. So that's just a little fun thing that I just came out with, actually. This product just launched on the 3rd of April. So that's one of the newest items that
I love that color.
Thanks. So we're coming out with red and a few other colors as well. And then I do have another one of my products is a new pressed eyeshadow. I know it's a little bit hard to see the colors on my screen here just because my camera's a little bit muted. But the pressed foundations are amazing. You can use them wet or dry as an eyeliner as well. And the pigments on those too, I don't know if you guys can see the shimmer or not in that, but they're very highly pigmented. And if you use the primer, it actually makes it waterproof. And then I also have my loose foundation, or my loose pigments, which can be used as a nail polish. They can be used as lip gloss if you mix it with a little bit of a clear lip gloss. So you can actually match your eyeshadow to your lips, which is kind of a fun thing. So here's one of the fun colors that we have on that too. You guys can see it's a pretty blue color. It's called Under the Sea. And there's a lot of shimmer to the products, but that's just how bright the pigment is without even using any type of a primer underneath of it. So it's really going to last you all day.
Wow. I can see the shimmers on because you're wearing it. I can actually see them.
Wearing one of my favorite colors right now. It's called Cloak and Dagger. And when it's applied dry, it has more of a maroon tone to it. But when you apply it wet, it actually picks up some green tones because it's kind of one of those trick colors that have several different pigments within it. So you can get different looks with the products by using them wet or dry, which is really great. So there's a lot of versatility for someone on a budget. You know, you can purchase a nice pink eyeshadow and you can use it as a blush. You could use it as a lip gloss, and you can use it as an eyeliner as well, just by getting it wet and applying it with an angled brush. So
that's
lots of really great ways to use it.
Yeah, we'd like to welcome you.
I'm excited to try it. I'm excited to try your products.
Nicole, do you want to go ahead and try? Can we hear you? No, Nicole, we can't hear you. It's been you look beautiful though.
Nicole, you might be muted.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yay! Oh, yay! Nicole was actually the host, and I'm so sorry, Jamie. That was just, you were fabulous. But go ahead, Nicole. Let's go ahead and just start from the beginning real quick.
Start from the beginning?
Yeah.
All right. Hi, and welcome to Pageant Live. I'm Nicole Johnson, your 2013 Ms. American Elegance. I'm excited to be your host for tonight's show. Our guests will be discussing the process they go through in choosing which pageant systems to enter. Before we meet our guests this evening, I'd like to begin by introducing Pageants Live wonderful owner and producer, Pamela.
Well, I think I've already said enough. Thank you for coming. I apologize. We've been having a lot of difficulties, audio Chrome difficulties tonight. But thank you, all your viewers. Thank you to all my wonderful guests. And Nicole, thank you for hosting.
I'm happy to be here. I'd also like to welcome Stephanie McGrane, International Super Miss, tonight's co-host and Ask the Crown expert.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I just froze up there for a moment, but I want to say thank you so much, Nicole. So glad that you're hosting with me tonight. And hello to all the viewers out there. I want to thank all of the viewers for checking out the Pageant Live website, which has gotten over 44,000 hits in the short amount of time that it's been up, so we're very excited. And thanks for tuning in tonight to this special episode, our second episode of the evening. And when you are visiting the Pageant Live website, be sure to stop by the Ask the Crown page. We have a lot of great questions posted and great answers too. If you have a pageant-related question, please send it to askthecrown@gmail.com. We'll get that posted and answer your questions. So it's a great format to really get all your pageant-related questions answered. And we also invite everyone stopping by the website to leave your comments and advice as well. We also have a pageant showcase page highlighting some of the fabulous pageant systems out there. So directors, if you are interested in advertising your system, please send Pageant Live an email at show@pageantlive.com. And we want to thank Pageant Live sponsor, Royal Bliss Boutique. And you can click on the Royal Bliss link on the Pageant Live website or visit them at www.royalblissboutique.com. They have a gorgeous selection of pageant gowns, prom gowns, swimwear, shoes, and accessories. And I have to tell you also that the very beautiful earrings that I have on this evening came from Royal Bliss Boutique. So I'm very excited for Royal Bliss. And we are also excited, and we just heard from our brand new Pageant Live sponsor, Jamie O'Neill, and Skull Sugar Cosmetics. So very excited to have them on board with Pageant Live as well. I'm looking forward to trying out all the great products that they have. And Jamie, let me ask you real quick, how can the viewers reach you? How can they find your products? Do you have a website that they can check out?
Jamie, you're actually on mute, but also they can go to our Pageant Live. Yeah, and actually
cosmetics.com is my website. So
perfect. Yes. And I think that you can also, if you go to the Pageant Live webpage, you can click on the link as well. Very excited for that. And also, viewers, if you have a question for any of our guests this evening, please tweet it at Pageant Live, post it to Pageant Live's Facebook page, or post it to Pageant Live's YouTube page. And back to you, Nicole.
Now we would like to have each of our guests introduce themselves, starting off with Angela Richels, Minnesota Super Miss.
Hi, I'm Angela Richels. I am Minnesota Super Miss 2013. I will be competing in the pageant that Stephanie competed in last June. It will be held. Yeah, I'm excited.
Me too.
The pageant is going to be June 23rd in Hamilton, Montana. And I know Trinity is now in it too. I'm excited to actually meet her. I've seen her many times on Pageant Live. So she seems like she's got a pretty spunky personality, so I'm really excited to meet her. But yeah, hi.
Thank you for coming, Angela.
Thank you for having me.
Up next, we have Ariel Talen-Keller, Mrs. Alaska United America.
Well, hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. And a little bit about me. I'm actually originally from Oregon, but I came to Alaska, and I really love it up here, despite our fresh 16 inches of snow we've had. But I love pageantry. I've been doing pageants for about 15 years now, and this is the latest Mrs. title. I love it. I love United America. Such a great group of ladies, and I own and operate a nonprofit. And I'm also a pilot as well, so there's a lot of aviation background too. So all good things happening.
Well, Ariel, welcome, and thank you for coming today. Next up, we have Jamie L. O'Neill, Mrs. Oregon Petite, USA.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jamie O'Neill, and I'm Mrs. Oregon Petite, and my national pageant is going to be in Kissimmee, Florida, August 15th through the 18th, and we're a platform-based program. So my platform is Look Good, Feel Better, and what we do is it's a group of cosmetologists who go in and actually hold workshops and teach things about looking a little bit better with your outward appearance after you go through the effects of chemotherapy and losing your hair and the trauma that those things cause. So I'm very excited to be able to bring more awareness to that program and hopefully gain some more volunteers with that. And I've been doing pageants since I was about 12. So I'm actually a former Miss Montana, which is funny. I heard one of our other ladies say that she's going to be competing in Hamilton. So that's pretty cool.
Wow.
So I really enjoy it, and I'm hoping to take over as the Oregon director this next year, so once I give up my crown.
Thank you for coming here tonight with us, Jamie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pageantry has impacted us all in so many ways, but what is the #1 thing you have gained from competing?
Oh, is that question for me?
Yeah, who would you like to answer that question, Nicole?
Jamie, it's for you. Take it away. You've been competing a long time.
Okay, for me, the biggest thing that I've gained from doing pageants is self-confidence. As I had stated before, I started doing pageants when I was about 12, and the first couple of them that I did, I came nowhere near close to ever winning anything or placing because I just couldn't really come out of my shell. And I was that girl that would kind of hide in the back and just wouldn't really talk to anybody. And the more I got to do it and the more I developed my interview skills, it's just really helped me to be able to grow into my own skin and kind of figure out who I am as a person. And so that's been pretty exciting for me to be able to, you know, get my self-confidence is what I really needed. And it obviously helps me in my business ventures today. So if I wasn't able to talk to people like I used to do, then I wouldn't get too far in my business.
Amazing, as beautiful as you are, and you were in the back, hiding.
Oh, I was a nerd back then, too, trust me.
I doubt that. I can't see that at all.
I'm still a nerd at heart, though.
That's okay.
Hi, Angela. How about you? What is the #1 thing you've gained from competing?
You know what, I would have to agree with Jamie. The one thing that I've gained, I've only done a couple of the other pageants, and that's been 2007 and 2009. And yeah, I was kind of in a shell, you know. I was married and had kids, and I was kind of doing the whole mom marriage thing, and I did get into my little zone, and competing just brought me out. Meeting everybody else, you know, seeing, you know, doing things in the communities together and just gathering together, and it really boosts your confidence, and you really do learn a lot about yourself too in the process. But I would have to agree with Jamie. The self-confidence is the biggest thing that I gained out of it.
Thank you, Angela. Ariel, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, I do. For me, you know, aviation has been such a huge part of my life for so long, and growing up with parents that are pilots and working in the aviation industry, for me, pageantry has given me an outlet to use aviation and getting women into aviation, really kind of an avenue to do so. And beginning a nonprofit that took many years to make and get that started, but being able to really have a cause when I'm part of pageantry and part of doing that. And you know, I started pageants when I was 17, and it's been, you know, it's been quite a few years, but I think it's a really great way to really get into using your pageantry for a cause and using it for a platform or a nonprofit or a foundation or whatever you have. And I think that's the best thing that it's done for me.
Ariel, I have to let everybody know that many people don't know, flying in Alaska is extremely dangerous. You definitely, are you a pilot up there?
I am, but I don't know if I would totally agree with that statement, though. I think that flying here in Alaska is very important to our Alaskan way of life, but I wouldn't necessarily call it any more dangerous than I would, you know, flying anywhere else in the country.
There you go, said by a pilot. I won't argue with you.
There's definitely risks in flying, but I think that being well trained and well versed in what you're doing, and there's definitely, but I will say that up here in Alaska we do have some elements that that are not so common down in lower 48, so it's important for pilots here in Alaska to always know, you know, what's going on and how to stay up on issues and weather and things like that to make sure that you are safe at all times.
Thank you, Ariel. Great answer. I think we'll all agree that pageantry have helped us gain so many different aspects. Tonight we have guests from all across the United States, and there are hundreds of systems out there to choose from. What are the top 3 things that you consider when selecting a pageant system to compete in?
Who would you like to answer first? Nicole?
I'm going to take it back to Ariel.
Okay, top 3 things that are important to me in choosing a pageant system. Number 1 would be how happy the queens and the contestants were, being able to talk with the director and really get her feel about what was important and what the mission statement is for that pageant, and really making sure that those ideals and the mission and what you want to do is parallel with the director and the queens that are currently in place. And I think that just making sure that all that is aligned, and if your strong suit is community service, then being able to have that on the top of their priority list too, because making sure that your priorities and their priorities are parallel, I think, is paramount.
Thank you. That is definitely something important to consider. I know I myself, I was just talking about how that's one of the things that I look for, how excited the girls have been in the past couple of years and the interaction that we have with the director. Angela, how about you? Do you agree? What are some of your top 3?
I would have to say the very first one that I would look at is to see if they even have a division for me with my marital status. Being separated, divorced, it's difficult to find a system because a lot of them are either Miss or Teen or the Misses. There are a lot of them that have the Ms. division, but not nearly as many as the Misses. So that would be the first thing I look for. The second thing I look at is the entry fee, and I find out what's included in that. Then I kind of look and see what else I need to come up with for sponsors, whatever. But then I do take a look through the website, and I do look at the past pictures and photographs, and I contact the director, and I kind of try to get a feel for the director. If the director feels, or makes me feel like they're not very friendly or whatever, I probably won't join the system. But having a very friendly director is one of the biggest things for me, because they're there to help you, and they're there to help guide you through the system. And if you do win that crown, that's who you're going to be working with.
I've heard that consistently in Pageant Live, that you guys say, contact the director. And when my daughter first started competing, we would have never thought of doing that. But I've just heard all you guys say that, basically. Contact the director.
That's the person you're going to be working for, or working with. So it's important that you get along with them.
Thank you, Angela. I would definitely agree with your answers. Now we're going to go to Stephanie McGrane.
And Angela, I love what you said about the director, and I know that's one of the reasons why you entered America's Super Pageant, and that's why one of the reasons why I chose America's Super Pageant too is because of our fabulous director, Janet Beer, and it's so important to have a supportive director. And Janet is so quick to answer questions. She's there for you. She helps you. Very supportive. I love her. So yeah, that's my number 1 thing. The second thing I also look for is cost, and the third thing that I would say is to see if the pageant is a good fit for me. I'm petite, so I have to look for a system that is not necessarily looking for someone who is tall, and I felt America's Super Pageant was a good fit for me because I believe in the pageant's platform of seatbelt safety. And I knew that it was something that I could promote and educate others about buckling up by sharing my personal story of surviving a life-threatening car crash.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Jamie, do you have anything you would like to add?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that one of the main things that I look for when I'm competing in a system is the integrity of the program. My biggest concerns are, are they just out to make a buck off of you? Are they telling people, you know, different things just to get more contestants to enter, and don't really care about each individual person. So that's probably the biggest thing for me, would be the integrity of the program. And second, I'm under 5'6" as well. I'm actually just at 5'5", even though I try to round up and tell everybody I'm 5'6". But I do look for a pageant system that is for petite women. So most of the things that I have competed in have been for women who are 5'6" or under. You know, and as a makeup artist too, I see a lot of the shorter girls just getting overlooked, especially when it comes to being able to model and do runway and things like that. So I say petite power, and that's one of my other things that I go for. And then lastly, of course, tying in with the integrity part too would also be the cost of the pageant, and definitely charging, you know, upwards of thousands of dollars for something is probably not something that I would condone or compete in. So cost is definitely something that I look at as well.
Jamie, you'll be happy to know Miss Universe is 5'5", so you have a chance there.
I saw on one site, I've seen conflicting reports, but on one site I saw that it said that she was 5'4". I don't know if it was Wikipedia or what. I said 5'4", yeah.
Hey,
I would give anything to be 5'4", but
without heels, you mean?
Without heels, that's right.
Nicole?
And did everyone get a chance to answer that question?
Yes. Well, and I really like what everybody had to say, and it really reflects on the diversity of pageant system. You know, we talk about adding Miss divisions, and I'm seeing that becoming a trend now more and more in pageants. They're starting to add more divisions, and it just shows that you don't have to be a married or a teen to enjoy pageantry. As well as the cost. I think cost is what everybody is considering nowadays, especially in the economic situation. In addition to the entry fee, we pay so many different fees for wardrobe and travel. So, you know, entry fee does go into it a lot. So I like what everyone has to say. Now we're going to go back to Stephanie for our next question.
And I completely agree with Nicole. And I loved hearing what the ladies had to say about what they look for in a system. But now I have to ask, what is the deal breaker? What is it when you are researching systems? What is it that is going to turn you away? What is it that you are going to say, nope, I am not entering this system? So, Angela, what about you? What is something that is going to keep you from a certain system?
I would have to say there's two things. One being the director, of course, and the cost. I mean, the cost, like Nicole said, with the economic finances these days, it's really tough to get sponsors, and it's tough to come up with, you know, $1,000 for your system. If it's really, really worth it, you know, I'm sure you could probably come up with it, but when you figure in all the other costs that come along with it, with wardrobe and travel, it's too much. So
right.
Cost would be the biggest deal breaker.
Cost is a huge thing, and I should remind Pageant Live viewers that they can go back. We did a special show on obtaining sponsors. Mm-hmm. So if you go to the Pageant Live website, you can view that, and there are a bunch of different creative ways, maybe ways you haven't thought of, to gain sponsors. But you're right, cost is a big issue. And the director, too, I think that's so important.
It's under Pageant Tips.
Pageant Tips, so check that out. And Ariel, how about you? What is something that is going to turn you away from a pageant system?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with Angela on that cost is a deterrent for sure. If it's too expensive, you know, that's going to be a big thing. But I agree that if something's not totally jiving with the director or you know, the mission of the pageant and really what they want to show in their queens, and maybe that's not something that you want to do or in line with what you want, I think that would be a deterrent, and also, you know, checking their website too, see what other people have done, and if there's something that turns you off and is just not you know, up your alley, then I would, you know, always listen to your gut on that.
So true. I love that. I do check out the websites of pageant systems, and actually, yeah, I've never really thought about how much that plays into it, but if I don't like their website, I don't like what I see, I don't see current pictures, gone. I'm moving on to, you know, checking out the next system. So important. And Jamie, what about you? What is the deal breaker for you?
I would have to kind of go along with that as well. But a reputation is everything, I believe. So if a system tends to have a bad reputation for the way they treat their queens, the way they treat just their people in general who are entering. And then the second thing I would have to say is wearing a swimsuit. I don't want to catch me in a swimsuit. So that's probably one of the things I'll stay away from that pageant if I have to put on a bikini and prance around. So.
Right. You know, and I think areas of competition too. I think a lot of people check into that and decide, you know, if that's something that they feel, you know, that they want to compete in. Otherwise, they can move to another system, check out other systems, and compete in different areas. Yeah, absolutely. And Nicole, what about you? What about you? What do you say no to pageants?
I have to agree with what everyone said. I'm really big on being up to date. I've received this year some paperwork that was dated from maybe 2008. You know, just you have to keep that stuff updated, especially the websites, who the new queens are, what their information are. But another big one that I have is if the director comments on the boy pageant boards. I just don't think that's okay. Like, I know you get on there and you see parents go back and forth and some of the competitors, but I just feel like directors should stay out of that sort of drama. Now, posting information about your pageant and the date and when it's coming up, that's completely fine. But when you see a director going back and forth with a parent, I just don't think that that's okay. I don't think that's acceptable behavior. So that's a big no for me.
Right. I don't think that's good, especially if you have an issue with the director. I think that should be taken up, you know, privately, and you know, definitely not on the boy boards. For sure. And Nicole, do you have our next question for the guests?
Absolutely. Now, I've heard everyone tonight mention cost. I remember a time when I was getting ready to compete in a system and it was about $900, and I said, oh no, I'll never do this. And then I looked at the price list and I saw you got about $10,000 worth of prizes. So ladies, my question to you is, if there was a better price list, would you be interested in spending more on a pageant? Paige, let's start with you. I'm sorry, Angela. Let's start with you.
You know, I don't think that the prize list would really make my final decision on competing in a pageant. It's going to be based on the director and based on what the pageant stands for more than anything. So I would have to say I probably wouldn't, unless I knew that I could get a lot of sponsors, because that's pretty high cost for the pageant. I probably wouldn't do it.
Okay, Angela, I have a follow-up question for you. Now, does it matter if the prize is actually money versus items? Like, sometimes pageants will give away a cash scholarships, and other times they'll have things like trophies and flowers and more plaques. So does that make a difference to you?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Angela. I'm going to move over to Ariel. How about you? Does the price determine whether or not you will compete if the prizes were better?
I think that that's definitely a factor to take in. But, you know, if it came down to two systems that I really liked, I don't think, if one was a lot more expensive than the other, but I really, really liked that system, and I liked what they stood for, and I knew that the director was good and nice, and she'd be supportive of what I was doing. And especially for me, this is totally a personal thing for me, but in the case where I have to have support from the director about my nonprofit, that's absolutely something that comes with me. It's kind of a two-part package. If you get one, you get the other, and I kind of come with that nonprofit. So that would absolutely be important. So I don't think that cost is an absolute deterrent. And if the prizes were better in the other, I don't think so. I think I would stick with the one even if it was more expensive, but better for me as a person and for the nonprofit, I would do it.
Okay, Ariel, I have a follow-up question for you as well. Have you ever competed in a pageant and spent a lot of money and then wish you hadn't have spent that much money at the end if you did not place?
No, I think that, placing or not placing, winning or not winning, I think in the bigger picture for pageantry for me is if you're going to continue with pageantry, you're just going to build and build, and it's just going to get better and better. So I don't think that placing, I think if you gave it your best and spent what was in your budget for that, and you did it, and if you placed, you did, and if you didn't, that's okay too, and you can just take those skills and take what you learned and move on to the next one.
Thank you, Ariel. Jamie, I'm going to move over to you.
Yeah, I don't think that the prize package is really something that I have chosen to do a pageant for in the first place. So I really wouldn't pay any extra money just because they might be giving me a car or something. So mine is just pretty much based off of what my principles are and my integrity, and so I just would pretty much stick with that.
Stephanie, do you have anything you would like to add?
I agree with the ladies, our guests. I don't think that I would be willing to spend more money for an entry fee if they were giving out a fabulous prize package. I think that would probably be one of the last things that I would look at, because all in all, when it comes down to it, and you're promoting your pageant and your title, the prizes, it's just a very small piece of it. And the main thing is your title and your year and what you're doing with it and how you're promoting it. So I agree with the guests. I also would not.
Thank you, Stephanie. You mentioned earlier, Stephanie, that you did America's Super Pageant because it had an amazing director. What are your expectations of a director?
Oh, absolutely. I love Janet of America's Super Pageant. She is fabulous. She is so kind-hearted. She's very supportive. I love the fact that she responds to every question, every message, every email. She gets back to you promptly, and I feel all throughout my reign that I've been so supported. And some of the pageants I've done in the past, I have not had that support from the director, and it makes all the difference in the world. So I think just having a director that believes in me and supports me and is there for me, makes all the difference in the world.
Thank you, Stephanie. Angela, I'm going to go to you with that question. What are your expectations of a director?
I think Stephanie summed it up right there. Janet she's been phenomenal. Since I've had my title, she has gotten back to me on every single question. She makes me feel like there's no stupid question to ask, and trust me, I think I've asked plenty of questions which I thought were pretty stupid, but Stephanie laughed.
I've asked Janet a million questions.
Exactly.
I'm sure I haven't beat.
Probably. For right now. But yeah, having a director that takes interest in you, and I have another platform as well as the seatbelt safety platform. I'm doing the Donate Life as well. So to have her interested in both of those really means a lot to me. And just to have the director take interest in you as a person, getting back to you on time is probably the biggest thing for me. So that would be one of my biggest expectations. But yeah, just somebody that is easy to work with would be the other thing that I would look for.
Thank you, Angela. Ariel, I'm going to move to you. Have you ever been in a situation where a director has gone above and beyond what your expectations were?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that what Stephanie and Angela said just really sums it up. You know, directors, you really appreciate them when they are very supportive of their contestants and supportive of you and supportive of your platforms and what's going on. But yes, I think that there's been quite a few directors that have gone above and beyond and just always been supportive, you know, answered questions quickly, and they're always there. And that's really what makes a difference.
Thank you, Ariel. Jamie, when it comes down to pageant making appearances, do you expect your director to help you find them?
Actually, I have been 100% in charge of all of my own appearances, and also gaining sponsorship for not only as myself in the Mrs. title, but also for our Miss contestants and our teen and our Ms. category as well. So I do appreciate and I do love a good supportive director, but she's in Florida and you know, she's not here in Oregon, so she can't really arrange all of my appearances for me. So that's one thing where I've kind of taken on that leadership role and just started to do it myself. But she's 100% supportive. She's a great communicator, and you know, I do run everything past her before I decide to go ahead and pull the trigger on something. So she is really involved with me, but she does kind of leave it up to my best judgment. So.
Thank you, Jamie.
Excuse me, that's another show we did on finding appearances. We gave all kinds of tips on that.
Yeah, you can be very resourceful in things that you do to, you know, gain sponsors and to, you know, get your appearances scheduled and, you know, working in your community. So there's a lot you can really do.
Absolutely. Very true. Very true. Well, now, I chose my current system that I'm International Super Ms. of America's Super Pageant, as I said earlier, because of the fabulous director, Janet Beer. So important. Also, I chose because it was a great price, and I believe so strongly in the pageant's platform of seatbelt safety. And I am living proof that seatbelts save lives, and because I had a seatbelt on in a serious car accident, I'm here today. And so that is why I chose America's Super Pageant. But ladies, I want to ask you why you chose your current system that you're representing right now. So let's start with you, Angela. Why did you choose America's Super Pageant?
Basically the same thing. You're taking the words right out of my mouth tonight.
I'll let you talk first, right?
Yeah, I love the fact that promoting seatbelt safety is it's a very, very important topic, and no, not a lot of people, you know, are using their seatbelts. And as I looked through the website for America's Super Pageant, I saw the clip from Janet regarding her daughter, and it really touched me. So yeah, that with the price, it just hooked me right there. So the price and that platform.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Angela. And Ariel, let's move to you. Why did you choose your current pageant system?
Well, last year I had competed with another system, and it was about halfway through that time I befriended a gal who lives in Maryland, and her and I became really good friends, and through that year we had just kind of went back and forth, and she was doing United America that year, and I was doing something else. And so at the end of that time, we just kept kind of kept up with each other. And finally, she said, hey, if you're done with nationals and whatnot, consider coming to United America and doing this. And I said, yeah, I'll check it out. So I immediately got on the phone with the director, and we chatted, I think, via email too, and I had kind of a lot of support with that, and it just kind of worked out, and I felt that it was that was my place and where I needed to be right now.
Well, great. Thank you, Ariel. And Jamie, let's move on to you.
I chose my pageant system because it's specifically designed for women that are 5, 6, and under, so obviously for the petite reason. But also we're a system that moves up not only from your state to USA, but then we also go to our other 2 national levels as well, which is really nice because you have the opportunity to keep moving up. And I also like the fact that we are platform based as well. So those are the reasons why I chose my system.
Well, great. And Nicole, why did you choose your current system?
It was actually because of the competition categories. We have a personal expression piece. I know a lot of times we plan for interviews and we just don't get that question that we wanted the judges to ask us. But in American Elegance, with the personal expression piece, you have the opportunity to go talk to the judges and tell them exactly why you would like to be queen and what it is that you plan to do for your year. And I'm usually good at interview and, talking about my platform and what I wanted to do and why I was interested in pageantry is something that I always wanted to stress to the judges. And that competition category gave me the opportunity to do that.
Well, thank you, Nicole. And also, I want to give a shout out to Morgan Lash, Miss Maryland Teen United States, who was unable to join us this evening, but was supposed to be a guest. And Morgan, we love you, and we wish that you were here with us tonight, but I just want to give a quick shout out to you. And Nicole, I'm going to throw it back to you for wrap-ups.
Okay, well, I want to thank you ladies for coming on the show tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you all. We would like to give you a moment to restate your title and give any information you would like to give about your pageant system, starting with Angela.
I'm Angela Richels, Minnesota Super Ms. for the American Super Pageant, being held in Hamilton, Montana, June 23rd this summer. Come on out and see us. We have a great platform of seatbelt safety, and also donate life. That's my other big one. Make sure that you talk to your family, tell them your wishes, sign up to be an organ donor. You can save up to 8 lives just donating organs, or up to 60 lives can be enhanced by tissue that you donate.
How can they get a hold of you?
I'm on Facebook. Just friend me, and that's all I have right now.
That's all right. Nicole, you're muted.
Oh.
You're fine.
Thank you so much, Angela. Next, we're going to move down to Ariel.
Okay, well, I'm Ariel Talen-Keller, and I am Mrs. Alaska United America. And United America National Pageant will be in Austin, Texas. And that sure sounds good right now because it'll be nice and warm. And I can't wait for some warm weather right now, so side note. But that's happening in June of this year. I'm super excited. And, of course, follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, LinkedIn, and, of course, check out AeroFem, nonprofit organization and scholarship fund at aerofem.org. And you can follow us there. And we've got some great aviation outreach happening in all 50 states now. And some really great scholarships that we're giving to youth that are interested in aviation. So thanks for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming, Ariel. Finally, Jamie.
Hi, I'm Jamie O'Neill, and I'm Mrs. Oregon Petite 2013. And my nationals are going to be in Kissimmee, Florida, August 15th through the 19th. And I can't wait to get to Florida and enjoy some sunshine. I'm bringing my entire family with me. We're going to do a nice Orlando vacation afterwards. And also, I wanted to just thank you ladies and wish you all good luck on your nationals as well. And say I am very, very excited to be a sponsor. So thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you. And that's why you women all have such beautiful skin up there in Montana and Alaska and Oregon, because the lack of sun. Fabulous skin, though. Beautiful.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
And my name is Nicole Johnson, and I'm the National Ms. American Elegance. Our national pageant is later in the year. It's going to be in November and is held in Escala, Illinois, which is close to Chicago. For more information, you can log on to MissAmericanElegance.com. I'm also on Facebook at Nicole Marie Johnson. Thank you for having me. I'm going to turn it back over to Stephanie.
And thank you, Nicole. So glad that you could join us tonight, and all of you fabulous ladies. It was so wonderful to have you. And again, I'm Stephanie McGrane, International Super Ms. for America's Super Pageant. We are currently looking for delegates to compete at the pageant in Hamilton, Montana, June 21st through the 23rd. So be sure to check us out on Facebook, or you can visit the website at americasuperpageant.com. Also, be sure to find me on Facebook. You can also find Bree Heron, the current America's Super Ms. We would be happy to answer any questions that you have about America's Super Pageant, so please contact us. Also, if you have any pageant-related questions, please send them to askthecrown@gmail.com. I want to remind everyone to always buckle up, to pay attention behind the wheel, and drive at safe speeds, and never drive distracted or impaired. I want to give a big shout out to Paul of Australia, Taikisha, who is Pageant Live's princess, and also to Mario. So thanks for being such great supporters of Pageant Live. And I want to thank all the viewers also in Afghanistan as well as around the world. So thanks for joining us this Tuesday, as well as every Tuesday evening. And Pam, I'm going to throw it back to you for any last words.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone for coming. You know, and I apologize for all the difficulties that we had tonight with technical difficulties, but you know, this is the Wild West, and it is a free platform. So, but I want to thank everyone. Please come back anytime. I want to also say welcome to our new Skull Sugar Cosmetics. Thank you, welcome. We'll be promoting you across all different platforms as we do to Royal Bliss. We will tweet, we will Google+, we will Facebook, and we will also the LinkedIn. So we'll be using all types of platforms to sponsor and get your name out there and hopefully bring you more business. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I hope it. I look forward to the partnership. Thank you, everyone. Good night to the viewers. Good night, everyone. Thank you.